Welcome back. When Angelina Jolie announced she'd taken the drastic step of removing both her breasts to avoid cancer, she was widely lauded for her courage, not only for undergoing such a radical procedure, but for being so open about it. Sadly, for one Australian family, Jolie's news was all too familiar. The Neve family has had to grapple with the same mutant breast cancer gene. Sisters Veronica, Alicia and Chrissy are three of the most determined women you could ever hope to meet. Like Angelina, they've taken extreme steps to beat cancer. But the battle rages on.
This one's about a little mouse named Alan.
These are precious moments for Alicia Neve and her 10-year-old son Jack.
Poor little Alan. I was upset because he had no legs.
34-year-old Alicia is very, very sick, struck down by a particularly nasty ovarian cancer.
So his mum decided to get him some prosthetic legs, but she was poor, so she just got little matchsticks.
But her dire prognosis does nothing to dent her spirit or story time in this household.
The little matchsticks ignited into little balls of flame. Next thing you know, little Alan was in a ball of flame, was on fire and died. That's it. My cancer's a very rare, aggressive, smart cancer. Well, I could say that I'm the same. I'm very rare, aggressive and smart too.
Have you always felt like you've been one step ahead of this cancer?
No. There's some days when you're just beaten down so much that it seems like a monster standing over you. Those are the days where you really have to grab yourself and just go, no, I'm gonna beat this monster today.
You've got to hand it to the Neve women. Veronica, Alicia and Chrissy have a mother battling breast cancer, and they've already lost their grandmother, great-grandmother and aunt. They've all inherited the insidious BRCA2 gene, which seems determined to kill again, despite two of these sisters making the agonising decision to have their breasts removed.
I'm probably, we talk about, vanity, and, she's pretty vain, talking about Alicia here, and, I'm pretty vain, and so is Veronica, probably less so, but... But it was important for me, from aesthetically, to, have breasts because they filled out clothes and they made you look nice, and they were a big part of me as a woman.
They were a small part of you before.
They're a much bigger part of you now.
They're a much bigger part of your life now.
You rehearsed that.
I did not.
You'd think breasts might be a difficult subject for these sisters, but there's a lot of black humour running through their genes as well.
He said, I only want to be a small B.
And you come out,
and you come out as a double D.
Oh, you're such a liar. They are not double Ds.
They are.
They are not.
They are.
I bit into a 12C.
Okay.
My sisters and I have inherited a gene that causes breast cancer.
6 years ago, they got the awful news. All three had the dreaded heirloom, an emotional and physical reckoning captured in this very candid family documentary. Their mother, Claudette, has so far survived 2 bouts of breast cancer.
Tonight we are making plaster casts of our breasts, creating a reminder of pieces of us that might not be so permanent.
So yours don't have any.
In confronting their fears, the Neve women bravely exposed themselves and their quirky humour.
She has no nipple right now. You maybe.
How are you feeling, Christine?
Bit nervous.
The 2 older sisters, Chrissy and Veronica, opt for a double mastectomy to drastically reduce their risk of getting breast and ovarian cancer.
I found the idea of removing my healthy breasts quite radical, and I was thinking, it's barbaric. It's quite a barbaric idea to chop your breasts off, you know.
So what convinced you to do it in the end?
The statistics. Because every single woman who had the gene in our lineage got breast cancer.
But baby sister Alicia, now 34, made a very different decision, convinced time was on her side.
Crack up. And then other times...
You thought you had a safety zone?
Yeah. It wasn't like saying I'll do it in 15 years. I thought, yeah, 2 years, that's still 10 years earlier than what those girls were doing it.
Yeah.
I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
So it's not affecting me at all.
This was Alicia just 4 years ago, a young, healthy mother to little Jack.
This is something I really don't have to deal with just yet because I'm younger.
Despite her youth, she too was facing the stark choice of her sisters. Live with the gene and take the gamble, or have her breasts and ovaries removed.
The point to make really today is that, you know, you're not too young to get it.
Did you believe him at the time?
No. I don't think anyone could have convinced me at that age that I had anything to worry about yet.
Just have a good day.
Alicia thought the odds were in her favour. She was 31, nearly 10 years younger than her closest sister. And the track record of cancer in the family was that it struck around age 50.
Racket-free returns. Uncut version.
Alicia did plan to have preventative surgery, both a mastectomy and hysterectomy, but just not yet. And why did you wait?
So I had the dream of having more children, so I wanted more ovaries. So I thought I'd just wait a couple of years.
Alicia didn't have a couple of years, and she'll never have another baby. Just over a year ago, aged 33, she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. So in your heart, can you survive this?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have no other option. I've got a 10-year-old son, so I've only got one option, and that's to survive.
This is the story of a young woman who, with the best of intentions, waited too long for treatment. But this is also a story of great courage and a family's undying devotion. When you heard that your sister had been diagnosed with cancer,
It was the worst. No, that's the time I can't talk about it. It was probably the single worst day of my whole life. I was in Melbourne.
and Mum Claudette and brother Denny, who made the documentary, never imagined that it would be Alicia fighting for her life.
Yeah.
At the time of making your film, did you think you'd be sitting here one day talking about your youngest sister?
No. No, it just... We just didn't think the luck could get any worse. And, yeah, it really has knocked us all.
Yeah. It's hard to imagine actually how much it's knocked you.
I can't even talk now.
But you know what?
Oh, give me that.
You know what? She's the baby sister, and we will wrap our arms around her, and we will carry her through this.
This is a family that sticks together, but today there is someone who is missing.
Dad has spent a life giving and caring from it.
Their precious dad, Colin, who died last week after a long battle with liver cancer.
Seems like I've been crying a lot in the last year. It's just... I never cry. I've had 42 years of crying built up, and I've let it all go in the last 12 months.
Adding to their grief, Mum Claudette's battle with breast cancer is on again. This time, it has spread to her bones. But to protect her family, Claudette won't let on how bad it is. How sick are you at the moment? Don't you fob me off.
My whole world,
Straight answer.
my whole world, all my friends in my whole life would be very upset if I didn't say I'm fine.
Well, they know you're fibbing, don't they? All those fine friends of yours.
We don't even know when she's fibbing.
You know, you sit here as a family who's buried their husband and father, and with a mother who's very, very sick, with a sister who's very, very sick. How do you keep going?
Look, family, you know, it's a great family. We wouldn't change anything. Maybe we would have cut a gene out here or there, but yeah, but that's what gets us through each other.
The Neve family is telling their heartbreaking story, not for sympathy, but in the hope they might save lives. Veronica and Chrissy's surgery has given them the freedom to live without fear. Of course, having a mastectomy or hysterectomy must be one of the most difficult and emotional decisions a woman can make. But because it's considered elective surgery, it can also be an incredibly expensive one.
There needs to be some kind of assistance for people that are making that elective surgery decision. I mean, gosh, this is not a boob job. They're not bouncy, nice and fresh and juicy like a beautiful, you know, breast enhancement. They're numb and hard and cold and yuck. Why would I want to elect to do that as a bonus? I wouldn't. I've done it to save my life down the track.
Unbelievably, the ignorance about how risky this gene is extends to some in the medical profession. One of Alicia's earlier doctors, not seen in this story, missed the symptoms of ovarian cancer, her severe bloating, constipation, bowel problems and hemorrhoids, despite knowing she carried a genetic time bomb.
I found out the 5 symptoms on the way to hospital to get my first surgery done. There was a poster on the elevator saying, ovarian cancer, if you're experiencing this and this, please see your GP about getting tested. There were the 5 things I was complaining to my GP about for 6 weeks, and he didn't pick up on it.
Into this bleakness charged Alicia's white knight, Brendan Hopp.
He saw me come running towards me at the end saying, your little legs must be so sore, let me carry you the whole way back.
Were they really sore, or you just wanted to be carried, didn't
you?
They met just 6 months ago, long after Alicia had been diagnosed. Why would you sign up for this fight?
I had no choice. She's the love of my life, and I hope that goes on for a lifetime. It's only fair that I should get a lifetime with the love of my life, surely.
Good morning. They're doing everything to get that chance at life. Along with continued chemotherapy here in Queensland, Alicia and her family are trying to raise enough money for specialised treatment in Germany.
And we think she's worth it because Alicia's, you know, She's so young, and definitely it's worth finding the money to do that, to do whatever it takes. But it's not, we're not looking for a miracle. We're just actually trying to fund her treatments that we know are going to be.
It's worth it for Jack, you know.
Oh, it is all for Jack. For a piece of pie.
Okay. Like, if you were telling your friends about your mum, how would you describe her?
Awesome.
Well, why is she awesome?
Well, she's fun. She's funny. She's fun to play with.
The harsh reality is that young Jack may have also inherited this gene mutation. Oh, you jumped in. Swallows is the correct answer, sir.
Oh, I get a turn.
Men with it have a higher chance of getting breast, testicular or prostate cancer. But finally, some good news for the Neve family. Brother Denny has been tested and doesn't have it, which means his children are in the clear.
And it's just great that I've cut, for me at least, for my lineage and for my path, for my family, we've at least had a win. And I think everyone in the family's happy about that. That it's now, it is probably a curse, this dreaded C word curse, cancer, is now only got an average chance of affecting our family.
I need you to pick a card.
Any card?
Any card at all.
The deck may be stacked against the Neve women, but the odds are better for these boys. Still, it won't be until they're adults that Jack and his cousin Casper will know the hand they've been dealt.
You can turn that around and see if that's your card.
Oh, it is my card, Jack of Diamonds. Well done.
Amazing.
They can't get tested till they're 18.
Yeah,
it has to be their choice, which is fair enough. And then if they're negative, then we've really...
Then there's another stoppage.
Tell you what, yeah, that bracketoo's running scared.
Fingers crossed, eh?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
we'll
there's
have a
another
party.
stop.
That's great.
And you'll be here for it, won't you?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
She'll be making the cocktails.
Yeah, and drinking them.
And if you'd like to help Alicia get the specialist treatment she desperately needs, her website is helpalicia.com.au.